So we'll just call it, for this instance, a little 3x3 mini album. So this is what it looks like on the outside, but it flips, and then has like every one is like an opposite flip, and each one has a little spot for a tag, or like a pocket for, you know, a tag or a photo, whatever you would want there. So all of this, it's like one sheet of 12 by 12 paper, gives you this cute little card and or mini album, however you want to classify it. So I will fold this up and we will go over the dimensions and directions for you to learn how to create your own 3x3 mini album. So the first thing that you need is a 12 by 12 piece of paper. You will take that 12 by 12 piece of paper and you will cut it down to 9 inches by 11 7/8 inches. So you're barely going to cut anything off of one side. It's like 1/8 of an inch away from being 12 inches by 9 inches. Once you have done that, we will start doing some scoring. So you are going to take it long way. So the direction that it is 11 by 7/8 of an inch long. So the long direction, so the score lines are going to be going this way. And you're going to go from one edge and you're going to measure in 2 3/4 of an inch. And you're going to score a line at 2 3/4 of an inch. I am recording this, so all these measurements you can go back and re-listen to get the replay. So again, 9 inches by 11 7/8 of an inch. Long direction, so we are measuring across the long side. So the score marks are going top to bottom, short side. You're going to start at one edge and score in. You're going to measure 2 3/4 of an inch, and then you're going to put a score line. Then you're going to go another 1/4 of an inch, which in total now from the outer edge is 3 inches. And you're going to do another score line. So I'm going to hold it close so you can kind of see. Let me just play with the lighting so you can see that there's 2 score lines there pretty close to one another. So 2 3/4 inch and then 3 inch. So they're only 1/4 of an inch apart. Then from the outer edge again, you're going to go to 5 3/4 inches. And then 6 inches. So again, you have 2 score lines that are 1/4 of an inch apart. So recap, from the outer edge, 2 3/4 inch, 3 inch, 5 3/4 inch, and then 6 inch. Now we're going to go 8 3/4 inch. Now this one gets a little tricky. You're going to assume I'm just adding another 1/4 inch, but I'm actually not. This one, I'll explain in a second, but we're adding an extra 1/8 of an inch. So 2 3/4, 3, 5 3/4, 6, 8 3/4, and then it's going to actually be 9 1/8. So you've given yourself an extra 1/8 of an inch, because when you go to fold this up, the one crease has to fit all these other bits in there, so it actually has to have a little bit more room to hold all of that in. So this one crease area, like this crease area, gave you 1/4 of an inch wiggle room. This crease area gave you 1/4 of an inch wiggle room. This one you needed 3/8 of an inch wiggle room. So it's a little bit larger of a crease space, if that makes sense. And if not, just watch the replay, follow the measurements, and I promise it will work for you. Once you've done those creases, just put those creases in, and then you don't have to do anything just yet. Then you flip the paper, so now it's going tall ways, and you're going from short side to short side. So this is 9 inches across. You're going to score at 3 inches and at 6 inches. So you've just created 3 3-inch pockets. Once you've done that, you are going to take your scissors or your trimmer, whichever you're more comfortable with, and you're going to chop out those crease sections that you created only in the top and bottom 3 inches. You're gonna leave the middle 3 inches solid. That's holding it together as one piece. But in the top 3-inch section and in the bottom 3-inch section, those little pockets where you created, like you put a score line and then a score line really close to one another, you're gonna just cut those little sections out. So you have, it looks like this, like a little cute little basket or something. So once you've done that, then it's a folding game, really. So you're gonna just take all your creases and fold them from both sides. And then same with here, just get all your creases good and folded, just so that it's a little bit easier to work with when it comes time to assemble. You don't want to be working with a rigid piece of paper that doesn't want to work with you. So then once you do that, it doesn't really matter which side is which, just whichever side is going to be your pocket. If you want it to be like my demo is, you're going to just crisscross. So if you want your pockets to be opposites, you're going to pick a side and then go opposite, opposite, opposite as you go down the sections. For me, I chose to just cut a slant in my pockets just to give them an angle. You could cut a straight line there if you would rather for your pockets. So for here, let's say I wanted my pockets to start on this side. I literally took my scissors and just cut it like that. Cut myself a pocket. I didn't measure, I didn't nothing. Then I used this as a template, held it up to the opposite. So now I'm putting it on the opposite side pocket. Use it as a quote unquote really fancy template. And just cut again. So now you can see I have 2 of my pockets prepped. And I'm just going to do that again and again. Then I'll have 4 pockets, and those pockets you're going to fold. You just put, I used 1/8 inch score tape, just up either side, and then you fold it down and it creates a little pocket like that, which allows you to tuck into your little piece a tag or a photo, journaling, whatever you want to stick in there. And that is it. So then you would embellish with pattern papers and solid papers. But once you've cut and glued those 4 pockets, whether they're on an angle, whether they're straight, whether they're long, whether they're short, just so long as every section has a pocket where you fold and adhere along the edges to create that pocket, then the second one, you just fold that full piece over and collapse it on itself. And making sure to leave that bigger section that you had 3/8 of an inch, the one crease that you gave yourself 3/8 of an inch instead of a 1/4 inch, that's your outer one, because that's the one that has extra space to hold your other little elements. And that is how you create that little mini album. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it's hard to see over the camera with just this white paper. Doesn't really showcase all that well. Maybe I'll decorate it this weekend and show you guys tomorrow it all decorated up. But about the base of the project, does anybody have any questions or not understand any of the measurements or directions?
What were the measurements again for the top, or for the long side?
The long side was 11 7/8 of an inch.
11 7/8.
Yeah, you're cutting just 1/8 of an inch off.
Okay.
And it folds.
No,
up.
I mean the scoring.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so 2 3/4 inch.
Oh.
One sec.